First, with some news in the NCAA world, Cooper Teare, the 5,000-meter champion last year for Oregon, has announced he is going pro, foregoing his final 2 seasons of eligibility. He had indoor, he had outdoor left, but Teare will go pro. Now, what changes will this bring about, Gordon, for Teare? Not many. When you actually look at the announcement, he's going to stay in Eugene. He's still going to be coached by Ben Thomas, presumably training with recently turned pro Cole Hawker, perhaps some other Oregon runners as well. What did you think of his decision?
Not surprising, right? We kind of thought Cooper was ready to go pro before cross country. It makes you think, you know, why didn't him and Cole both go pro or both not go pro for the cross country season? You kind of think of what if, if Cole Hawker would have been the cross country, I don't think it would have changed Oregon's chances. Obviously, Cooper had a bad race, but they would have had a big 3 instead of just a big 2. But I think, and at the end of the day, late in the summer, Cooper and Cole were both ready to move on from collegiate running. They kind of had done enough. They've proven themselves where from their indoor campaign last year to what they did in the
Mhm.
outdoor season. Cross country was more just like a filler season. And in the end, they're kind of getting to where they knew they would be. I think uh, this is the right move. They have nothing else to prove. They need to start. Their peak should not be NCAA outdoor championships. It should be
Mhm.
the U.S. championships. And with this, they're able to not have to do, the West prelim
Yeah.
5K round or a hard NCAA final a few weeks out before USA's. So it gets them on the right track. And Cooper is someone who can make the team this year in first year as a pro. I wouldn't be surprised. He was 4th at the Olympic trials. You know, something's always going to happen. It's not guaranteed that Shalimo, Fisher, and Kincaid are guaranteed the 5K spot next year. One of them could get
Mhm.
injured. One of them could do a different event. You never know. So um, I wouldn't be surprised if he's making a world team in year 1 as a pro.
Mhm. He finished up classes as well this quarter at Oregon, so extending on would have meant more academic responsibilities. And you're right, he's ready to compete now. That was very clear in the indoor season. It was confirmed in the outdoor season. Everybody around this age, you want the good parts of college without the tough parts of college. So in that sense, Cooper Tears living the dream. He gets to stay there, same coach, same training partners, a lot of the same races. But you're right, cuts out the West prelims, cuts out having to go to more classes after he's already finished his degree. I think he is doing what everybody would have done in this scenario. The one part of it that's interesting to me is this decision is being made under the evolving process that is NIL. And when NIL, name, image, and likeness rules came out last year, you and I talked a lot, and we talked to some people who basically were saying, hey, kind of makes sense. Some of these college athletes might stay in college actually longer because now brands will see value in them as collegiate athletes, maybe more so than other companies would see them as professional athletes. Hawker went pro regardless of that. Tier stayed 1 season and then went pro. But I wouldn't read too much into this because my feeling is, Gordon, we're just really new into the process with this, and companies are still trying to figure out what it looks like to have an NIL sponsorship to where Nike and Adidas and all the big shoe companies are going to come in. So I don't think right now we know fully what that's going to look like. And I think in a year, someone fitting his profile might actually stay in, but we're just too new to this system yet to where it impacted him.
I mean, you look at this tweet from Masai Russell. She's a runner in the SEC, I
Mhm.
believe. 6 figures in
Kentucky.
4 months at the age of 21 ain't too bad. I can only thank the Lord. Heart emoji. 6 figures, if I'm counting correctly. That's not including the cents. So that's over $100,000.
Yeah,
Pretty damn good
correct.
for her. And she's doing it
Yeah.
all from NIL, like paid partnership
Mhm,
from Rowdy Energy, and she's
mhm.
posting herself in her Kentucky uniform at a track practice in the indoor facility. I think she's finding a way. I mean, she's kind of different. She's because of like the Instagram influencer is kind of separate from just being the fastest talent like a Cooper Teare. Sometimes it overlaps.
Mhm.
Sometimes you're really good and you have the Instagram influence, but it's kind of like two different NILs, right? There's the Instagram type and the, you know, extremely potentially can win medals type. Not that saying Masai Russell won't do that because she is very good, but uh,
Well, she's
I
got
think she's getting
400,000
paid.
followers on
Exactly.
TikTok,
Yeah.
and she's got over 100 whatever on Instagram. Yeah, when I'm talking about the NIL stuff as it pertains to tier, I'm talking about Nike coming in or Adidas
Yeah.
or Puma or these big shoe companies. Like, what's going to happen when they get involved? Will that change who goes pro and when, particularly at schools that have strong, well, every school now in college has a strong relationship with the brand. And I just think this doesn't tell us anything yet because I think they're still in the process of figuring out how that would work. Obviously, they can't get paid for performance, correct? That was one of the rules, and every state
Correct.
has different rules. So they're still figuring out how that works. But in another year or two, the next person who fits the profile of Cooper Tier, they may end up staying longer because a shoe company sees more value in them staying longer and can pay them to stay longer.
And there's also the factor of, I don't know about you, but when I'm 20 or 21 and I can not have to go to class, that's tempting, right?
100%.
So
Yes. Yeah.
these kids still have to go to school and like do homework and study for tests and do class projects. It's you kind of forget
Mhm,
about it when you only follow them in their collegiate athletic area and not realize like there's a
mhm,
whole world of waking up, going to class, doing this and that. Um, so taking that burden away from an athlete is always going to be enticing. And I think that's a big reason why Cole Hawker was like, screw it, I'm out. Like Cooper Tier probably was like, I can do one more semester. I've already made it this far. I can do one more
mhm,
semester to
mhm.
finally get the degree. Cole Hawker was like, hey, I'm one more semester versus not one more semester. There's going to be no difference in
Yeah.
my degree at Oregon because I'm not going to really get that. Maybe he's still studying school. I don't know. But he's probably like, I don't need one more year. I'm out. No more school. So,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I'm getting a big paycheck. So don't blame him.
When you're
I want to
18,
say this.
19, 20 years old, 1 month feels like 3 years, and sitting in class sometimes can feel like the biggest burden. When you have the benefit of time and you get older and you're like, "Just what's the big deal? Just sit there in class." But you gotta put yourself in the position of kids at
Yeah.
that age.
I will say this. I am sad that the NCAA 5K, men's 5K, is like slowly
Mhm.
disappearing. No more Luis Grijalva, no Connor Mance, no Cooper Tier, no Cole Hawker. Yair Nagus probably isn't going to be involved. I could just go on and on. It's just it was a great run
Yeah.
for the greatest NCAA event.
It was a couple months.
It's a couple
It was a
months,
couple months run.
but all the
Yeah.
top guys are gone.
Do you think Travis still has the GIF that he made
It
of
probably
you in
does
the
somewhere
NCAA
in the
5K being the
archives.
greatest of it? Yeah. It it burned fast though, wouldn't you say? Like, it was there
Yeah,
all of a sudden, and then now it's gone. It didn't taper off. It didn't have the slow decline. It's just gone now. It's just all over.
yeah. Now we have Athanas Kyoko in there to kind
Mhm.
of bring some new spirit. There we go. NC men, how memorable. Never forget. Never forget the year
Get
of
Celine Dion to sing it.
2021 spring, the NC men's 5K. Anyway,
Every
Kyoko's
night
got to bring
in
it back.
my dreams,
Okay, no one needs
I
to hear that.
see
This
you.
is a
I It's a Titanic song. Okay, let's
people will
stick with
fast forward.
comedy.